Welcome to July 6th, 1977, Montreal, at the Olympic Stadium. These are my photographs. I just thought I'd walk you through some of them. Hey, check out the plaid. You're going to see a lot of plaid. And denim vests. As you can see, I was actually wearing a plaid shirt and a denim vest, so not one to throw any stones. There's David Gilmour tuning up his guitar just behind the monitor, and Snowy White on bass, which was great. When Snowy was on bass, he was great. It's when he switched to his Les Paul that he was not great. 78,322 people, I believe. Rick Wright. Now, the camera I used for this was a 1971 Pentax SP1000. Normal lens, 50mm. So you can, when you see the stage, you can see how close I really was. I was just at the bottom of the stage. And trust me, if you've ever been to a Pink Floyd concert, especially in the 70s, the very bottom of the stage is scary. As soon as the music started, everybody pushed forward, and there's this big steel fence. And I was pushed right into it, and it was, it was close. I'll say that. There's that Strat. Doesn't look like that nowadays. He's got a maple neck on it. The long shots were taken later on in the show. That one was during the encore, the blues encore. But you can see how close I was. And without having the benefit of a decent light meter in the camera, I mean, it did have one, but it wasn't a spot meter, which would have helped. So you're going to notice that some of the exposures are off. But huge articulating cranes on both sides of the screen with a guy inside each one, going up and down the whole time the show was on. There were spotlights in those things, and they were working them like crazy. And this would have been during Sheep, a song we're listening to. And the screen was off during the Animals part of the show, which was the first 45 minutes or so. But as the show went on, I started to get squeezed out to the left, and you'll notice that David Gilmour's monitor becomes more prominent as the show goes on. This, I think, was during Us and Them, and on a close-up you can see Dick Perry way at the back coming on stage with his sax. Great set of drums. To the left you can see the transistor radio with the microphone goosenecked into the speaker, where you scan the radio dial. There's that Stratocaster. Roger had headphones on as well as huge monitors, so I'm not sure whether the headphones were to block people out or just so he could hear better. But they were rocking. They were loud. I was right at the bottom there, and I couldn't hear the PA very well at all. I was listening to David Gilmour's high-watt amplifiers, which was gorgeous. I just loved it. That photo was taken during Pig's Three Different Ones, which is just before the spitting incident. And you can actually hear Roger coaxing this kid up to the stage. Come on, boy, all is forgiven. And then as the music crescendos, that's when he spit in the kid's face. And there's been a lot of questions about that. When was the actual spit? So that's when. This photo was taken during Shine On You Crazy Diamond, right at the beginning of it. And they had purple and green lights on it. It just was so cool. And you can see that monitor starting to get bigger and bigger. I was happy to be squeezed out, frankly. That gave me a better chance to see Roger, but at the same time, Roger had his back to the crowd most of the time, so I didn't get many shots of him. He would go back behind the drum kit and stand with his back to the crowd. So body language, I think, was pretty telling that night. Lots of smoke. But watch for the very foreground, and you can see people's hands on the fence, and that was a little channel like 3 or 4 feet from the stage between the fence, and there were a couple of photographers there from newspapers, and they didn't last long. They were there maybe 2 or 3 songs, and then they were gone. So that's probably why there are so few photos of the show, because it was just me. But the spotlights from those articulating cranes. There's the arms, hands on the fence. But a lot of the show, toward the end of the night, they had the house lights up, which was strange. Trying to do a show with all their videos or films on the big screen, and they had the house lights up too, which you'll see later on. There's that 59 Telecaster Custom, which he was playing dogs. There's again. That was just the best place to be, though, right down there. Crowd aside, it was a phenomenal experience to be at the bottom of that stage, hearing David Gilmour's amps ripping my face off, and couldn't get the smile off my face. There it is, Shine On You Crazy Diamond again. Yeah, and the exposures were horrible in places. I wasn't real happy with the way my photos turned out. So I never did anything with them for 30 years. They just sat in the envelope. My negatives just sat there. Close to 30 years. 27 to be exact. There he is with his back to the audience. And you can see underneath the rack of lights there's a deflated something. So that would have been, oh, there's his acoustic guitar. Pigs on the Wing. That was before he started yelling at people for letting off fireworks. Yeah, Shine On You Crazy Diamond. You can see in the bridge pickup, there it goes. It's black. It's not white. And that was a DiMarzio FS1. Oh, she's there. Okay, that's during the Blues encore. And David Gilmour's gone. He was back at the soundboard at the time. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for listening.